Yep.
And then, but yeah, Colin, the way he worked with the kids, I mean, it was just amazing to watch. I just sit back and observe. I was just trying to kind of stay in the background there and just support the kids. But the volunteers, just
Oh my God.
amazing.
Yeah,
They
that was
were.
crazy. And
They
then for
were
them to
so
have
awesome.
then for each
Each kid
child
to
to
have
have
their own volunteer,
that was wild to me. I was just like, because it was just like, I hadn't experienced nothing like that to where I like,
and
my
the
son
kids
had.
stayed with the volunteer because I was expecting Jules to at any moment to just bounce, but he stayed with her
I
the
was
whole
too,
time.
expecting some of the kids to like not want to participate, want to go into, how they go into their little bubble and just want to do their own
Right.
thing. I was
Hmm.
expecting
Familiarity.
that. And
They
none of
they
them
wasn't doing that.
did.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
They
none of them did.
those volunteers was on point. That
They
was
really were.
probably the best. That was
Now,
probably
were
one of the
you nervous the night before the event? What were your feelings the night before?
I was probably nervous like 2 weeks up into to the event because you never. So let me,
I'm
full
about to say we was
disclaimer, let
talking.
me tell you what happened to
Yeah.
us. So people don't like to read.
Mm.
So we had to do damage control. I ended up having to call a lot of the people who registered for the camp
Oh
and say,
yeah.
"Hey, this is for special needs kids. Is your baby,
Yeah,
has your
your
baby
mom
been diagnosed with
your,
something?"
your mom
So
told me
it
about
just made me nervous. I was like, "Oh my God, I don't want it to be like this is a modified camp. This is not going to be what people think it is.
it. Mm-hmm.
It's not real footballs we're throwing to these kids. It's not real route running. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? It just
Hmm.
was. So I was nervous. I was like, people gonna show up with their kids and think this is a regular camp, and it's not.
It's not.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
had to do control for a long time, and people don't answer their phones, so that part made me nervous. But everything else turned out really well. It was well organized. I was surprised for that to be our first event. I was surprised at how nice it came out.
Yeah, so I share with you that I've had to do events like that. So, just doing the snacks, the food, the signage, getting the volunteers. It's a lot of work. That's
It
hard
is.
work. And so, I thought everything just turned out great. I mean, everybody that all of the volunteers, like you said, it was just an amazing event, for the kids. And so the kids, like I said, they were better when they left than they were when they got there. So that's a picture of our family right there. But yeah,
Colin made
man, it was
Colin put everybody at ease. It's just
yeah.
like when he came in, he kind of
Mhm.
took over. Everything was kind of like when we was there before Colin got there. Of course, Monica had everything. Everything is. Monica was gonna be nervous. I already knew that, but we already knew everything was gonna go great too. We knew that, but when Colin got there, it's kind of like Colin kind of took over. It's kind of like now we kind of follow. Colin just took over, and everybody kind of calmed down after that, and everybody kind of it just flowed after that. You know what I mean?
It did,
When we,
yeah.
so that's why I was telling my dad, like, shout out to Colin, because normally Colin is more reserved. He's more like he, I don't want to say shy, but he's just like, he's a gentle giant. You know what I
Kind of
mean?
like me.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of like Uncle
Pretty
Paul.
quiet.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he's full of personality, but you have to know him in order to get that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But the way that he was with the kids, that was what's up to me. I really tip my hat to him for that, because that was awesome to me, for me to see that.
Well, he loves kids, so I already knew he was going. It was whatever the kids want to do. Let's have some fun.
He
Yeah.
did that, and the kids were
Yeah.
coming up with some of their own ideas, and he just kept it going.
He just
So
flowed
Hmm.
with it.
yeah, shout out to you and Colin. Just an amazing job
Thank
with
you.
the camp. Everything was terrific. We talked about that weekend. We've been talking about it ever since. And but
Yeah.
yeah, it was amazing thing. So coming up on a new season, we're excited for you, excited for Colin. Like I said, we're gonna come down and attend the game. And so the last thing we're gonna do is we gotta unfortunately talk about these Cowboys. So I don't know if you're a Cowboy fan or not. I know you're no Paul was a big time Cowboy fan. So we're doing our Cowboys content, and we veer off the Cowboys subject too.
I
But
can't answer this question, y'all. Can't put me on the spot like
do
that.
you
No
have
one.
a favorite team?
Come on now. I don't. Y'all, listen, I literally just started watching football 3 years ago.
Yeah,
And it
Yeah.
was college football. Like I taught myself the game
You know what I be
because I
thinking? I
was
be thinking to myself, I be like, yo, when Colin, if God blesses Colin and he goes to the league, what are we gonna do? Because what happens if he goes to like the Eagles or something? It's just like we're gonna
yeah,
have to
what am I
literally
gonna do?
we're gonna have to switch. That's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to have a I'm gonna have to have a jersey that has his team on the back and the Cowboys on the front, or vice versa. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
that's what most families do. They
That's
just
what
have
we're
they
gonna
have
have
to
to
just
do.
make it happen. Yeah.
I just be thinking to
Yeah.
myself like, Lord, what's gonna happen? I just pray that it's, I be like, man, what if it's the Commanders, or what if it's like a team that I despise, like Green Bay? I think it's gonna be a team like that, and I'm gonna have to do that. But that's how you never know what life brings you, and that's
Right.
what it's gonna bring. You know what I mean? But Texas, man, Texas, it's all about Texas right now. Now, when I was
Yeah.
growing up, now Vince Young, now that was that game when they won that championship. That was crazy.
It was.
I ain't never experienced nothing like that. And then how he came back on the last play of the game and won. That was just that was that was
It
crazy.
was phenomenal for
It's
sure.
phenomenal. So Texas is kind of like back on the throne now because for a while they wasn't. But then like for the last, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years, they've been back on the throne. And so
They've been doing that
everybody
thing for sure.
everybody loves Texas now. And they one of the most, they like I said, they are outstanding school. You graduate from there, you can write your ticket. You know what I'm
Oh, for
saying?
sure.
Yep. Yep.
They
So
gonna do their thing
they're
this
back
year.
on top.
They back
And
on top. They gonna do their thing. I think that they gonna do their thing. It's gonna be the same teams in the playoffs again, and they gonna do their thing. They got to get their revenge. They got to get their
Oh, for
revenge
sure.
on Ohio State, and they got to get their revenge on Georgia.
Georgia. Oh,
Yeah,
listen.
we got to
I
get
can't
Georgia.
wait.
Yeah,
We have to beat Georgia. We
we
can't
got
get
to.
over the
yeah,
Georgia hump.
yeah,
Right.
But we
they're
have to
gonna
beat
stay in the
them at
game.
their field.
Yes, it's just like the Cowboys in Green Bay or the Cowboys in the 49ers. We got Texas. We got to beat Georgia. I got that
We
game
have to.
circled. I got 2 games circled on my calendar. I got the Georgia game circled, and I got the A&M game circled. We got to dog A&M out. We just got to.
Well,
And
now you know they let now this they did pretty good this past year.
but they always just, they just a thorn in our side.
Oh my God.
We got to get
Oh,
them.
I don't even know how people go to games, A&M games. That was
I'm telling
different.
you, that's different. If I had to choose a game to go to, if I had to choose a game to go to, it would definitely be the Texas A&M game, and
You
I would hope it would be at Texas A&M. That's what the game that I want to go to, cause that'd be crazy.
Now they're playing at Texas this year, right?
Yeah, they playing it in Austin, but
mm,
when they play at what is that field called? What is A&M field called?
Kyle Field.
That right there be crazy. It's like going into the enemy's territory.
It's
You
I
like
know,
don't
going to
even I can't
Michigan
even
or
speak
Ohio
on it.
State.
yeah, it's like going to
Yeah.
Michigan or
It's
Ohio
different.
State. Yeah,
They are obsessed with
yes,
Hmm.
they are obsessed with their football team for
that
sure.
yes,
It's
that's
almost
why we
like a
got it.
cult.
Yeah, yes,
Hmm.
it is. It's a cult like following. That's why I got that game circled because I like to take the air out the crowd. You know what I mean? Like we gotta just,
Yes.
they're like a thorn in our side, A&M. So we got to get A&M. So and
They're
Georgia.
they're Texas little brother, but
They are.
and no shade to Texas A&M fans. Somebody might be watching our show that's an A&M fan. Sorry
That's
about
what
that,
I
but
heard.
yeah, but that's what it is. But well, we promised we were not going to have Monica long, Jules. So do you have anything else so we can let her get on with her evening? And we appreciate you joining. Anything else you want to wrap up with?
Me and Monica are gonna. We're supposed to be doing a documentary to where we're gonna talk about raising a black athlete and how mommy manager and how she's just doing so many things and how she's been successful and all of this. So y'all stay tuned
Mm,
for that. And I'm gonna get
yeah,
with Monica. We'll be coming out with that, and I'll be doing it
yeah,
promotion. I'm gonna try to make this a big deal. I'm trying to make it a big thing. Like it's gonna be part of my senior year projects at school. I'm gonna try to put a lot of resources into it. So it's gonna be big. It's gonna be dope.
So I do think Monica has a really good story that other parents need to be, aware of and just kind
For
of get
sure.
inspired by. So that'll
Mm-hmm.
be something great. And so I'm doing the same thing you're doing, Monica, with him and his project. I was like reluctant, didn't want to do it. I
Mhm.
don't want to be on camera, but you have to do what you have to do to support your kids. And
Oh,
so I'm
for sure.
kind of doing that thing. So hey, I understand where you're coming from, and you got to do what you're doing, but you're
Yeah,
doing
it's no longer
just
your
a
life
great job.
anymore. It's
Yeah,
children's
I
life.
know.